Blessings, everyone. I wanted to talk today about chaos and the world we live in today, and the idea that we cannot be in coherence with everything that's going on. And it has become a challenge to be coherent in this chaotic mess that we're living in. But I wanted to just speak to it because I feel like there's a lot of people really struggling right now to just stay alive and to be present with themselves and to be here on the planet. And we have an opportunity when we're in that space to actually dive in deeper into the core of our being and to drop all that frenetic energy and that anxiety and bring it back into coherence. The world we live in today is allowing us to witness the elements of chaos and how they interact with our individual environments. What we know to be true but are not really experiencing easily as these energies shift into coherence is coherence, that we are in this together and must take personal responsibility for what is happening. So what's actually happening is we are shifting into coherence. As we ride these waves of energy and find a common ground within the chaos, we have this opportunity to recognize how out of alignment we have actually been and how we have been very deliberately steered through mind control mechanisms to be influenced in our beliefs, our critical thinking, our behaviors, our coping mechanisms, and our ways of being on all levels. So now is a critical moment in time where we must ask the hard questions. What kind of world do we choose to live in? What kind of world do we desire to create? And what are the steps we need to take to ensure life continues on this planet? With so much at risk and so many systems being affected by our actions, how do we go about shifting our consciousness to allow for the truth to be witnessed? For us to admit to ourselves that we have been living in a lockdown grid of consciousness, right? That has attempted to keep us imprisoned and blinding us to our own truths and our own realities that would otherwise look very different. Modern life has its conveniences, but at what expense? You know? What I'm saying is nothing new, and I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but really, how do we do this? How do we do this and thrive? The energies are so immense, they're massive, and at the core level, there's sadness, there's grief that needs to be released for many. And how do we manage our own energy so that we don't harm others with our own frustrations and anger towards the previously established powers that have steered us astray, right? So I invite us to really listen deeply when we ask these questions, to allow new thought forms to emerge, original thought forms, that then allow us to see from a different perspective. It must first require that we be radically honest with ourselves and not allow ourselves to be influenced or swayed by popular beliefs or by others with their own agendas, but rather by our prime directive, our own individual source light energy, in our own vertical alignment. that helps bring clarity and cohesiveness to our thoughts, our hearts, and allows us to rest in the knowing of who we are rather than who we be. As we continue to ride this wave of this transition, I invite you to remind yourself of how special you truly are, and that we chose this. We choose to be here at this time. We chose to be here at this time on Earth, on Gaia, for the benefit of all beings, and to transform this Earth School into a place of peace, awareness, and bliss in the next golden age. Let's celebrate together, coming together in harmony and grace with each other, interdependently for the sake of everyone, especially our elders and our next generations. We need all of each other's help right now. May we be there to lend a helping hand and to love without condition. I love you beyond the moon, beyond the stars, beyond the firmament, back all the way to the beginning of our existence, to Source. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be free. And so it is. Namaste, beloved.